All right, back into it now. The Biden administration's ties to the CCP, far tighter than is comfortable for me and for a lot of other folks. We know there's a lot of backroom dealing that goes on. We know that Hunter Biden was there. Billions of dollars came out. More concerning to me today, though, is the tight ties between Beijing and Moscow. Now, look, it's a marriage of convenience, as they'd say. It's not like Russia and China are buddies, except that they're buddies against America. That's my take on it. But that notwithstanding, they are tighter than they've been ever before. Putin's inauguration ceremony showing that as Beijing and President or dictator Xi, as I should say, sent emissaries and sent people there to attend the events. Here to sort it out with me, Anna Mu, member of the new federal state of China. Anna, nice to see you. Look, Beijing and Moscow are getting cozier and cozier. Now, I think it's a dangerous relationship for Moscow because I think at some point the Chinese Communist Party says, yeah, we've used what we need here, and kick them to the curb. But for now, they're very tight, aren't they?
They are very tight. Thank you very much, Steve. Now, responding towards what you have mentioned about what's going on right now, first of all, with the United States, I think the point is that if we were going to have actions against the Chinese Communist Party or to say Moscow, no matter what it is, it should be acted a long time ago. So not just now when it's near the presidential election, but what should be a long time ago that has actually been taking place. So first of all, that's a response towards what has happened before. Now with Putin, we know that recently he's got his inauguration ceremony, and he has invited many foreign ministers, ambassadors, leaders from the EU, and also a lot from the Western countries to attend. Now the 21 of the EU countries refused to attend, including leaders, of course, as we know, from a country over here or from Canada and other countries, as well as a lot of diplomatic ambassadors. However, the ones that have ties with the Chinese Communist Party, those CCP-fused regimes sent ambassadors to take visit, and that means we have seen France, Hungary send diplomatic ambassadors wherever she has went. So at that time, the propaganda of the CCP caught in France and other 6 countries to went over. So if we remember from last week on the show, we've actually mentioned the special representatives of the Chinese Communist Party met with all the ambassadors, and he hoped that everyone will support Putin and Russia, and in this sense, not just support for his aggression against Ukraine, but also his inauguration in what we have seen happen just then. So I think it's a close relationship with ties, right, and also with the regimes. That's what's happening.
One of the places that I think we should be most concerned, and people are not talking about this as much as they should. Right now, the United States is being kicked out of Niger, Central Africa. At the same time, and Russia's coming in to take over, apparently, after there was a coup there and a change in the government, which is not unusual for Africa. But for us, we're losing a major military operations point, and as that's going on, the Chinese are also coming into Africa. Russia is coming into Africa, a place where we had tremendous influence a few years ago. We're losing our influence in Africa, in Asia. Obviously, things not going well in the Middle East either. So we have these problems, and every place that we seem to back up, Russia and China come pushing in. It's exactly true, isn't it?
It is exactly true, and it's actually very unfortunate because we know that the CCP, not just as we see now, because the US has backed away now, Russia and CCP China come in forward, but they actually, we know the Chinese Communist Party have a lot of ties with the African countries. And, when Chinese people have been suffering with poverty, with food, and not having enough money, not having enough salary or wealth, or the whole economy is collapsing, the CCP actually gave millions, hundreds of millions, and even billions of funds towards a lot of the corrupted African, you can say, authorities, officials, and let them build so-called infrastructures together. So in the end, what it means is using the Chinese people's money, funding, more corrupted authorities in Africa, but it builds the ties and it builds the deals, the trades that they want. So now, as the U.S. is moving away from this region, of course the CCP is going to step in, and same with Russia. They're on the same boat. Like you said, they are not buddies. Actually, but they are buddies in this case against the United States. So that is what we can see for what is happening.
I want to look back here at what's happening here in the country, because we just the announcements of the debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So we're setting up here in America to have a repeat of the last election. We know what Donald Trump was like in office when it came to dealing with Xi Jinping. We know what Joe Biden's been like dealing with Xi Jinping and the CCP. I think it's a big contrast, to be quite honest. I think it was a lot tougher for the CCP to do what they do with Trump in office than it has been for Biden. So do you think that they have a stake in this? Do people in China watch these debates? Do they watch American elections? I know that the CCP brings in money to, funnel into social media and a whole host of other places as well to influence broadcast, television and radio and internet and all of these things. How closely do you think they watch this? How important do you think it is to China as to who is the president of the United States, or do they feel they're going down the road anyway?
I would say, well, you bet, because this is something that they would pay close attention to, and it might not just be Xi; it could be the people around Xi. So the authorities are from the kleptocratic families, because their wealth and also their benefits are great. Have great ties and integrity towards America. So a lot of their money, a lot of their wealth are actually overseas. So how politically the atmosphere and also environment might be in the United States will greatly impact their wealth and also, their profit that they can make, or the business that they can do, or you can say, the influence they can have towards the whole country. So I bet they'll probably take very close attention. And it's not just for what's, like we said, what's going on very shortly that's going to take in place, but also as the moment we speak, any actions that have been put up by the administrations, they're going to pay close attention to, because it will be impacting their profits. It's just really simple. That's what
their
they
bottom
do.
line, the cash flow, right? Yeah, because we're very closely intertwined when it comes to economies, but we're also closely aligned or misaligned, as it were, when it comes to military buildup and so on and so forth. Anamu, always appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
She's a member of the new federal state of China. You can always find out more at NFSC Speaks on social media platforms, at NFSC Speaks, all those different social platforms. You can find out more.